By day, he navigates the relentless demands of modern life. But when the winter freeze sets in, he vanishes into the deep woods to pursue a raw, hands-on connection with nature. Armed with only basic tools and his loyal companion, he sets out to build a secure log shelter in record time. But a shelter is just survival. He wants to bring the ultimate unexpected luxury to the freezing wilderness. At the center of his winter build, he will conquer the sub-zero temperatures by constructing an outdoor, wood-fired hot bath from scratch. He is transforming a hostile, empty snowdrift into a self-sustaining sanctuary of warmth and comfort. And it all begins deep in the northern forest, where the margin for error is razor thin. Right now, the winter dictates his schedule. The physical toll begins immediately. Stripping frozen bark from raw logs is grueling but necessary. Removing the bark prevents moisture retention and rot. Every precise swing of the axe preserves his energy, while ensuring the timber will last for years against the damp earth. Hauling heavy timber across uneven, snow-covered terrain drains energy fast. Navigating the icy stream is a calculated risk. A slip means wet gear and rapid heat loss. To counteract the biting cold, a small fire is sparked. Heat is an absolute necessity for survival. A brief pause is a strategic necessity, not a luxury. Boiling water for tea staves off hypothermia. With his loyal dog by his side, he refuels. He is fighting a ticking clock. The short winter daylight demands rapid progress before the shadows drop the temperature further. Groundwork is the hardest phase. Chopping through frozen topsoil requires repetitive heavy impacts. Establishing a perfectly level foundation is crucial. If the base shifts during the spring thaw, the entire cabin could collapse. It is a slow, unglamorous battle against the frozen earth. The walls begin to rise. He notches each log by hand, relying on traditional friction and gravity. It's an impressive display of bushcraft engineering. Precise cuts mean sturdy joints. A loose fit would let the howling winter winds pierce the cabin's primary defense. Lifting the central roof ridge beam is an exhausting feat of raw strength. He must balance the heavy timber perfectly. This structural spine is vital. It will bear the crushing weight of winter snows, ensuring the roof doesn't cave in under the massive load. With the main beam set, smaller branches are layered to create a dense roof matrix. The work is tedious but foundational. A tight weave is essential. It provides the necessary support for the heavy insulation layers to come, keeping the roof structure intact. He turns to the icy riverbank to harvest dense clay. Mud chinking is dirty, labor-intensive work, but it acts as a critical thermal seal. By packing the gaps between logs, he blocks freezing drafts. Without this barrier, the interior would never retain heat. A fortress of stone is constructed. Hauling freezing, jagged river rocks tests his grip and endurance. Stacked near the future stove, this stone wall will act as a massive thermal battery, absorbing the fire's heat and radiating it back into the cabin all night. Laying the final roof timbers is a race against the fading light. His muscles ache, but the threat of incoming snow drives him forward. The structural shell must be completed today. Every minute lost exposes his hard work to the damaging elements. Gathering thick moss from the surrounding rocks adds a natural, wind-blocking insulation. Tucking it into the roof gaps requires patience. He then unrolls a heavy tarp. This waterproof membrane is the ultimate shield, guaranteeing the interior remains bone-dry during heavy blizzards. The physical demand peaks as he buries the tarp under wet earth and heavy moss. Hefting shovelfuls of dirt overhead is grueling. This living roof provides massive thermal mass, trapping the heat inside while allowing the cabin to seamlessly blend into the forest. Heavy snow arrives, ratcheting up the pressure. He moves indoors to install the cast iron stove. The chimney must be routed perfectly. A poor seal risks a devastating fire or deadly smoke inhalation. With the stove secured, the cabin is finally ready for the cold. Scavenged wood forms a rudimentary floor, elevating him above the freezing mud. He measures and cuts each piece meticulously. A solid wooden door is crafted and hung. It is the final essential barrier, blocking the harsh wilderness out and trapping the precious warmth inside. Navigating the cramped interior, he constructs a sturdy, raised sleeping platform. Sleeping on the ground drains body heat rapidly, even indoors. Elevating the bed is a basic but critical bushcraft rule. It ensures the day's immense labor culminates in a safe, warm night. Night falls over the frozen forest. The thermometer plummets. Inside, the crackling stove transforms the raw shelter into a cozy haven. The heavy door easily holds back the raging snowstorm. The builders' exhausting efforts have secured a warm, dry victory against the freeze. Dawn breaks, revealing a landscape smothered in fresh snow. Survival requires constant maintenance. Fetching water means shattering the thick ice of the stream. It is a sharp reminder that living off-grid is a relentless cycle of chores, even after the shelter is built. With the shelter secure, an ambitious new project begins. He drags a massive rusted cast iron bathtub through the deep snow. It is a grueling, seemingly absurd expenditure of energy. Yet, this high-effort task is aimed at achieving the ultimate off-grid luxury, a hot bath. He excavates a large pit and builds a heavy stone foundation. The rocks must be perfectly level. Once filled with water and a person, the tub will weigh hundreds of pounds. A structural collapse over a live fire would be a disastrous setback. Leveraging the heavy iron tub onto its stone base requires raw power and careful maneuvering. He packs earth around the lower edges for insulation and stability. He pauses briefly to pet his dog, gathering the mental resolve needed for the exhausting water hauling phase. Filling the tub is an agonizingly repetitive chore. Carrying bucket after bucket of icy water up the steep snowy bank pushes his stamina to the edge. Each trip is a heavy draining loop. The sheer physical cost of this luxury is immense. A fire is carefully ignited directly beneath the iron basin. Heating such a massive volume of freezing water takes intense heat and time. He must manage the flames expertly to warm the thick metal evenly, without causing it to crack from thermal shock. He splits additional firewood, moving constantly to keep warm. Managing two fires, one for the tub and one inside the cabin, requires vigilant attention. If the outdoor fire dies, the water will freeze solid. His work pace is steady, driven by the dropping temperatures. A flat, searing hot stone serves as a rustic grill. He cooks thick cuts of meat over the open flame. Consuming high-calorie protein is vital. After 2 days of monumental physical exertion in the bitter cold, his body desperately needs the fuel to recover. The reward is finally here. Stripping down in the biting air, he lowers himself into the steaming water. It is a surreal oasis amidst the snow. The hot soak soothes his aching muscles, proving that his immense physical investment was completely worth it. With the sanctuary complete, we owe immense thanks to our friend Volodymyr, whose dedication brought this build to life. To experience more of his creations and support him, visit his channel, Alone with Nature Vova. All details and links are available in the description and pinned comment below. Refreshed and packed, he walks away from the camp. What started as an empty, freezing patch of woods has been transformed into a fully functional, off-grid sanctuary. It is a permanent testament to human endurance, clever engineering, and an unbreakable will to build.